Welcome back to the podcast. It is Thursday, and dude, we have an absolutely stacked lineup of AI news today. I am Taylor, and I am so ready for this.
And I am Morgan. We have massive claims from hardware giants and some wild new software capabilities to break down today.
Seriously, from generating Android apps to 6-minute AI songs, it is getting crazy. Where do you want to start?
Let us kick things off with the hardware side. I saw something interesting from Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang today.
Oh man, yes. So according to TechCrunch, Jensen Huang just announced he found a brand new $200 billion market for Nvidia. And get this, it is for CPUs.
Wait, CPUs? Nvidia's obviously the undisputed king of GPUs for AI training. Why are they suddenly pivoting to focus on a $200 billion CPU market?
Right, so it is specifically CPUs for AI agents. Jensen predicts that as AI agents become everywhere, the bottleneck shifts from just training models to actually running these agentic tasks.
That makes sense architecturally. Agents need to constantly query databases, run logic, and execute code, which are traditionally very heavy CPU workloads.
Exactly! It is like GPUs are the heavy lifters for the massive neural networks, but the CPUs are going to be the fast, agile managers directing the AI agents everywhere.
But $200 billion is a massive projection. Are they trying to eat into Intel and AMD's traditional server market share by branding these specifically as AI agent processors?
Dude, probably. Jensen is brilliant at positioning. Call it an AI agent CPU, and suddenly every enterprise feels like they desperately need to upgrade their entire server rack.
It is a brilliant marketing move, but the underlying technical shift is real. As we move from chatbots to autonomous agents, the hardware infrastructure absolutely has to evolve to support it.
And think about the scale of a $200 billion market. That is not just a side hustle for Nvidia. That is like an entirely new core business pillar for them.
Absolutely. It diversifies their revenue stream beautifully. If the GPU market ever saturates, which many analysts predict it eventually will, having a dominant position in AI CPUs provides a massive safety net.
Plus, think about the power efficiency. CPUs designed specifically for agent tasks could run way cooler and cheaper than firing up a massive H100 GPU for simple database queries.
That is a critical point. Energy consumption is the hidden tax on AI operations. If Nvidia solves the power bottleneck with specialized CPUs, that massive market is entirely plausible.
Speaking of autonomous agents doing things for you, did you see the article on the Decoder about Google testing what they are calling the SaaS apocalypse? It is so cool.
I did see that headline, the SaaS apocalypse. It sounds dramatic. What exactly is Google AI Studio doing that threatens the entire software as a service industry?
Google AI Studio can now generate native Android apps straight from a prompt. It builds them in Kotlin with Jetpack Compose, and you test them right in your browser.
Wait, so if I just need a simple utility app like a habit tracker or a packing checklist, I can just prompt it into existence instead of downloading one?
Yes, exactly. You just vibe code it. The article points out that for simple utility apps, the Google Play Store could become totally irrelevant. You just make your own personal app.
That is fascinating, especially considering how much revenue the app stores generate. But what happens when these auto-generated apps have bugs or security vulnerabilities? Who is maintaining this code?
I mean, you just prompt the AI to fix it, right? But the funny thing is, Apple is taking the exact opposite approach. They are consistently blocking these vibe coding apps.
Of course Apple blocks them. Their walled garden relies on strict quality control and their 30% cut. Auto-generated disposable apps completely break their traditional App Store business model.
Totally. It will be wild seeing Google embrace this generative app future while Apple tries to keep the gates closed. The app market is going to change forever.
It also raises questions about discoverability. If everyone is generating their own personal apps on the fly, the concept of a top 10 app chart or a viral app might completely disappear.
Oh, wow. I did not even think about that. The whole influencer economy of promoting apps would just vanish if I can just tell my phone to build me a custom version instantly.
Exactly. The entire app ecosystem could transition from a marketplace of pre-built products to a purely personalized on-demand generation service. It is a massive paradigm shift.
And to generate all those crazy personalized apps, Google is going to need faster and cheaper models, which ties perfectly into their big announcement from I/O 2026 regarding Gemini 3.5 Flash.
I was just looking at that. MarkTech Post says this new model actually beats Google's own flagship model on coding and agentic benchmarks. How does a smaller model win?
It is the trend we are seeing everywhere right now. Distilled, specialized models are becoming incredibly efficient, but the performance is not even the most impressive part of the announcement.
Right, I saw the cost and speed metrics. It runs 4 times faster than the previous generation and costs half as much. That is a massive win for developers.
This directly supports what Jensen Huang was saying about AI agents. If you want agents running continuously in the background, you absolutely need these high-speed, low-cost models like 3.5 Flash.
Exactly. You cannot have an AI agent doing your shopping or writing apps if every API call costs a fortune. Gemini 3.5 Flash makes that future actually affordable.
Yeah, and I am particularly interested in the fact that it beats their flagship on agentic benchmarks specifically. It shows Google is optimizing heavily for autonomous action.
It is like chatbots are yesterday's news. Everything now is about agents that actually do stuff. And Google is clearly building the engine for that with this Flash model.
It also puts a lot of pressure on OpenAI and Anthropic. When Google drops the price by 50% while increasing speed by 4 times, the whole market has to react.
And with half the cost, smaller startups can actually afford to build complex, multi-step agent workflows without burning through all their venture capital in a month.
Seriously, it just completely lowers the barrier to entry for everyone. I cannot wait to see what developers build with this kind of cheap, fast intelligence.
Moving from text and encoding to the creative space, Stability AI just released something that pushes the boundaries of generative music. Let us talk about Stable Audio 3.0.
Yes, I saw this on TechCrunch and The Decoder. Stability AI launched a new audio model that can create full 6-minute songs. 6 minutes, dude! That is a whole extended track.
6 minutes is a significant leap. Maintaining musical coherence, rhythm, and structure over that duration has historically been a major challenge for AI audio models. How did they achieve this?
They trained it entirely on licensed data, which is huge. But the coolest part for me is that 3 of the models ship with open weights, so developers can actually tinker with them.
The licensed data aspect is crucial. With all the ongoing lawsuits in the generative AI space, providing a model trained on legally cleared audio gives enterprise users a lot more confidence.
Totally. And there is a small version of Stable Audio 3.0 that can actually run on device. It generates 2-minute tracks locally without even needing an internet connection. How crazy is that?
Running inference locally on device is definitely the next frontier. It reduces latency, ensures privacy, and avoids expensive cloud computing costs. It seems everyone is pushing for smaller, local models right now.
I mean, imagine just having an app on your phone that generates a custom workout playlist on the fly, running completely locally. The vibe coding we talked about earlier could totally build that.
That is a great point. You combine Google's auto-generated utility apps with local models like Stable Audio 3.0, and the barrier to creating personalized software experiences essentially drops to zero.
It is just mind-blowing how fast all these different pieces are coming together, like hardware, cheap API models, open weights, and app generation. It is all converging right now.
The open weights aspect is also huge. Allowing researchers to actually look under the hood of these audio models will accelerate community-driven improvements exponentially.
Oh, 100%. The open source community is going to take Stable Audio 3.0 and build some absolutely incredible music generation tools with it.
Between Nvidia's hardware pivots, Google's app generation, and open audio models, the AI landscape is shifting faster than ever. It is a lot to track.
It really is, but that is why we are here. Thank you so much for listening and geeking out with us today.
We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to check the show notes for links to all the articles.
That is it for today. We will be back tomorrow with more AI news.